Hey everyone, my name's Walter, and we're back here with more of a story about a neckbeard. Warning, this story apparently gets really bad, though I'll give a more direct warning if anything's about to happen. I don't think we've gotten that far yet. Neckbeards are gentlemanly guys who have nerdy interests and like to think they're smarter than everyone else because of it. They wear fedoras, they often don't eat very healthy, and they might actually even have the iconic facial hair. But you'll see, so let's get started with more neckbeards from Reddit. This is more of the story of Wheezybeard. I will link to the previous video in the description if I remember. But first let's read a post or two from Reddit Just Neckbeard Things. I believe the real culprit is the bridesmaid who is incapable of realizing a joke had been told. OP did not mention any names, thus proving it was merely a joke meant to keep the mood light and joyous. This bridesmaid obviously experiences an extreme case of low self-esteem combined with a lifestyle that does not behoove her appearance. Had this female even exhibited an iota of confidence, she would have realized it was a joke not meant for her. I shun females who display this unseemly attribute, as they are rarely a good time. A low self-esteem is detrimental to many females and their activities in life. This is something these people choose not to deal with and perpetually perceive themselves as a victim. I don't get the feeling a guy who talks like this has to spend too much effort on shunning women. Aside from the obvious use of the word female, he just used the word joyous. Personally, I don't like boba because of its taste and texture, and because it sticks to my teeth. You look so pretty. Are you ovulating? I'm sorry, I know that's extremely personal, but I can tell, I can't help it. You look ravishing, and you're radiating extra light. I'm actually a bit flushed and astonished. LOL, you win for most random question I've ever been asked. Yeah, I see someone's never met our friend Lucas Werner. LOL, as long as I've put a smile on your face, I'm okay with that, and so long as I haven't offended you, to not be in your good graces. Now please let me leave you with a piece from Yeats that always reminds me of you, and that I've been dying to share with you. Wine comes in at the mouth, love comes in at the eye. That's all we shall know for now, before we grow old and die. I lift the glass to my mouth, I look at you, and I sigh. Yes, I love it when they apologize for sending the message in the same message. Like, if you have to apologize for it, why not just not send it? Why? How could anyone ever think it's completely normal to jump from boba to creepy comments about ovulation? I don't know, these guys just can't help being creepy. But let's move on to this story from Reddit Tales of Neckbeards, cause the guy in this one's pretty creepy too. The last part of the story was about the guy repeatedly trying to walk in on the author while she was bathing. Wheezybeard Part 4. GG gets sick. Hello again, friends. Thank you for joining me. I love how much appreciation and love you have all shown for me. This part of the saga was very sad, but it adds to the story. For all those first joining us, characters are myself, OP, very short, pretty average looking, 5 subways long. WB, or Wheezybeard, our beardo that is a creepy, chain-smoking anime waifu prick that believes women were put on this earth to serve him. GG, Wheezybeard's beautiful grandmother. I had been with Wheezybeard for a while at this point, and unfortunately was watching GG's health deteriorate by the day. All alone in that house, I would often pop by. This made her day. She would make up all kinds of things for us to have. I would bring by some groceries and she would always tell me she would have some extra in Tupperware for me later. On my birthday, she surprised me with a beautiful butterfly necklace, my favorite animal, and made a beautiful dinner with a butterfly cake. Now one morning I popped by and didn't see her in the kitchen. I called out for her and could hear faint crying. I ran around searching for her to find her crumpled on her bedroom floor. She had fallen in the night and had no way to call for help. Cold and weak. I immediately dialed for the hospital. Holding her, I pleaded for them to come quickly. I did not know the details, but I knew the address. An ambulance soon arrived and I went with her. I called Wheezybeard as soon as we got to the hospital to tell him about GG. He asked if she was alive. I said yes, but I didn't know how she went with the fall. This douchebag asked why would I call him if she just fell over. I was enraged. Don't you know when old people fall it can be potentially life-threatening? I could barely hold in the tears. I had known this woman for such a short time, but it was like she was my own grandmother. Call me if she is dying, otherwise I'll pick her up afterwards, he said. He wasn't even going to visit her while she recovered. She was in the hospital for 3 weeks. I visited as much as I could, brought her flowers and chocolates. Yeah, this woman completely supports him, and look at how much he cares when something happens to her. Let's not act like he didn't know this was serious. He just didn't care. It's a good thing the author was even there. She might have just died like that. God, I was hoping I was done with elder abuse after that Christian video, honestly. She had broken her hip and had internal bleeding, but surprisingly did well after the surgery, and after her 3-week stay she came home. She was on bed rest, and I put up a schedule for myself and Wheezybeard to give her meds, assist her to the bathroom, and bring her food. As I came home from my second day at work, I found her starving, hadn't had her pain medication, and she had wet herself. She was so embarrassed I had to clean up after her, but was so grateful I was there. After ensuring she was well fed and had her medication and was asleep, I stormed home. Now I was angry, and I wasn't thinking right. I went through the door and found Wheezybeard smoking and watching anime. I grabbed him by the shoulder and slapped him as hard as I could. I have never struck anyone before, but I could not believe someone could be so heartless. You could see an outline of where my hand had been. What the fuck, as he slapped me back. I was so angry I did not even feel it, not in that moment. How dare you leave Gigi alone all day without tending to her? You agreed on helping, I go over there to find you haven't been there at all. He stepped back and said, I was busy and time got away from me. I motioned around. Busy doing what? I worked all day and still was the one that went over there to help. What have you been doing? The house was filthy, so I knew he hadn't done any housework. I was busy looking through retirement villages she could stay in, and funeral arrangements. This prick wanted to pack her up for someone else to deal with until she died. I do not have too many words about that. Imagine needing this much help, and this guy just being too busy jerking it to hentai all day to make it over. As she's the one letting him stay for free, of course, he's looking up funeral arrangements. What a piece of shit. I am not a living relative, so I have no say in what his family chooses to do with Gigi, but I knew she wanted to stay in her house. She hated nursing homes and knew that you go senile from not doing things for yourself. This isn't the end of the discussion, but in the next story I will bring in Wheezybeard's mother. I will leave you here for now, but I will start on another part as soon as I can. Thank you again to everyone who has been reading. You have all been amazing. Bye for now. I did like the part where he slapped this small 5-foot-tall woman back. She's probably lucky he didn't have his katana on hand, am I right? Anyway, let's read some more posts because the next 2 parts kind of relate to each other, so I think they should be in the same video. Judging by her profile picture, she probably dresses very immodestly by Japanese standards, so she's kind of asking for it. The majority of girls go their entire life and get groped on the train maybe once or twice. Eesh, it's more times than I've been groped on public transportation. Getting molested on your way to work just once or twice is once or twice too many. But of course, this is just your regular neckbeard, leaping to the defense of Japan and its sex pests without hesitation. Yeah, I guess this is just what hentai does to people, huh? Females of the world. If he doesn't go to art galleries, if he doesn't have books in his home, if he doesn't take you to the opera, if he doesn't listen to the classics and/or post-rock, if he can't quote Shakespeare, Chaucer, or Dostoevsky, if he doesn't play Minecraft, Dwarf Fortress, or both, if he doesn't express himself creatively via the medium of point, song, or music, then don't fuck him. I know a dude who randomly walks up to people and recites Shakespeare. It made me hate everything. Dude, I'm busy, I don't have time to cringe. How doth you shut? Hopefully this next one counts as neckbeard stuff because Thorn left it on one of my videos. Listen, nerd. I was kicking it with 4 hotties for 2 weeks at the hospital after a suicide threat. Oh, I guess that makes you cool. What negative things could I possibly have to say about that? Boyfriends, all, but that proved something to me. You have no value for me, you know-nothing hipster slob. You louse. Back off me, you absolute Gomer pile of human filth vomit. You are 0 to me. Nada. Well, then why are you in my comments? Yeah, who knows? I am sick of people thinking deodorant is optional. Well, I'm sick of people thinking that they can judge others on a normal bodily function and that the only way they can be accepted is to wear something that is harmful/poisonous to your body. Just because some men in the 1880s decided bodily odor was no longer acceptable. Good lord, do we really want to go back to everyone smelling like they probably did in the 19th century? I wasn't alive back then, believe it or not, but it probably wasn't great. Anyway, one more post and then let's call it a day. Nah, I simply stopped wasting my time on femoids after understanding their nature. Modern technology offers us plenty of vastly superior replacements to meat holes with defective brains that worship violent chads. Keep on simping though, little Redditor. Well, good for him, I guess. Have fun dating your waifu and fleshlight. Anyway, that's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you have something to say about any of this, and you probably do, let me hear it in the comments. I always like to read those. If you're new here and want more of the same, consider subscribing. Gotta get that number up if possible. I'd also like to thank my generous patrons. I'll be doing that by name again here soon. They help support my lifestyle, or lack thereof. Much appreciated. I actually streamed earlier today. I might do that more often. It was pretty fun. Well, have a great night, everyone, and make sure you worship some violent chads for me.